Now, one of the 3 p.m. kickoffs that really jumps off the page tomorrow is a battle between 5th place Manchester City, who've won 4 of their last 6 at home in all competitions, and 6th place Newcastle, who've won all of their last 6 away in all competitions. The game takes place at the Etihad. One little thing for Pep Guardiola to think about, he's confirmed that defender Manuel Akanji will be out for up to 10 weeks with a thigh injury. Let's head to their training ground and speak to our reporter, Ben Ransom. Ben, good afternoon to you. Just how big a blow is it to lose Manuel Akanji, especially for that span of time?
Yeah, it is a big blow, isn't it? Because Manu Akanji has been a player that Pep, by his own admission, has relied upon this season, who's played through fatigue, played through minor injuries to put himself in a position to be available for selection because of the lack of numbers across the City back line. He's often had to play out of position. Obviously, he is by trade a central defender, but as we saw again in midweek, he had to play at right back or from the right-hand side. So he really has put his body on the line for City in what's been a pretty difficult season. So to be without him is a blow, especially when you consider this next run of games they've got coming up. I know that Eddie Howe was talking about the next run of games for Newcastle being potentially pivotal to their season. Well, for City, it could be the same because they've got a big game, obviously, in the battle to get into the Champions League next season. Then comes that second leg against Real Madrid away from home where they've got to try and overturn that 3-2 deficit. And that's before Premier League champions-elect Liverpool come to town the following weekend. Obviously, Super Sunday cameras will be all over that one. And then it's a trip to Tottenham. I know we've just been hearing from Ange Postecoglou. They're not in a great moment, but that's a stadium where City haven't necessarily had the best success in recent years. So it is a blow, potentially, for Manchester City, for Pep Guardiola in terms of his team selection for tomorrow. Now, as you can imagine, this press conference, there were plenty of questions about that loss against Real Madrid. It's not the first time they've suffered a defeat, having been leading in a match. So you can imagine that for Pep Guardiola, there were plenty of questions on that front. And he admitted that it has taken him a little bit of time to help the players lift their mood after that defeat, particularly from a winning position, and plenty of talk around that and looking ahead. But he also said that as much as he's trying to solve the problems that City have, nothing would be a better pick-me-up ahead of that game in Madrid than a win this weekend.
Every time that we get the results, the mood is better in everyone, but at the same time prudent, because the season will be like have been, and you have to try to to get results more often. But of course, when you are in the position that results help us a lot for the next games. In the last minutes again, we cannot close the games, and everything you try to help. So that is our job. It's normal, and all the managers I think happen. So it's not because of us or because of me. It's because it's normal.
Is it more on the ball or without the ball?
No, it's everything. There's not one. If it was one subject, it will be easy to solve it. So the truth is that we there's one reality. Always we have been so comfortable with the ball, and now we are not as much comfortable when we had the ball. And after, when we don't happen, we have to make use our physicality. Now, physicality is not like other teams, but we know the league make a step forward in all the teams, and we make some step backwards in terms of we were comparing where we were last season, previous seasons. But yeah, play at home, our people, and try to do it.
Yeah, the Etihad could be their biggest weapon this weekend, because Newcastle haven't won a Premier League game there for some 15 matches, so it's not a particularly happy hunting ground for them. But Eddie Howe's team very much in the battle with Manchester City to finish in the Champions League places this season. 5th against 6th, as you rightly say, David. It's going to be some showdown, potentially a crucial showdown in that battle to the end of the season, because as much as there are big games on the horizon for both teams, a cup final in Newcastle's case and an effective cup final in Madrid for Manchester City perhaps next week, these matches against those teams in and around that battle could be significant. One other piece of team news to emerge from the press conference today: Jack Grealish. We saw him go off, unfortunately, after just half an hour of that Champions League tie in midweek. He is and unlikely to be involved this weekend. I mean, Pep says he's still got to assess him in training this afternoon, see how he is, but I think we get the sense he's probably also, like Manuel Akanji, going to miss out. Nico Gonzalez, though, the January signing, is fit and available for selection.
Yeah, crucial games these for Manchester City. Thank you very much indeed, Ben.